Hello folks, and welcome to this week's Music Alerts video where I tell you what physical music product I've received through the post this week. And well, this week I've got a vinyl special for you. Now let's start with Portishead, shall we, and the live recording the band made with a 35-piece orchestra at New York City's Roseland Ballroom, in which both of the band albums were featured. Now the interesting point from this album, called PNYC by the way, is the relatively subtle effects that the orchestra adds. Now you may have expected the orchestra to be rather heavy-handed, but instead, it added a sense of tension and drama. This means that as a live album per se, this particular example is one of the better choices from the genre. This particular reissue arrives pressed on red vinyl, comes with a poster and a VIP pass. Now, Penny Arcade, which is the next release I want to talk to you about, kind of triggered a memory of a 70s band called The Penny Arcade, but no, nothing to do with them. Apparently, Penny Arcade is actually a young whippersnapper named James Hoare. This is his rather homebrew debut, with guests aplenty on the, is it Tapete label, or is it one of those weird, or Tapete, or Tapite? I'm going to say Tapete. Anyway, this is a lo-fi, low-key, low energy, introspective album. This one floats, so float on. Two now from the UK audiophile label BGP. First is a compilation called This Is Mod 1960 to 1968, and it features a rather informative, rather nice inner sleeve, sporting liner notes and excellent imagery of a selection of the included artists. Now this compilation is not the same old, these are choice cuts, and they include Clarence Carter's Looking for a Fox, the Ikettes' Camel Walk, and Arthur Conley's I Can't Stop, No No No. 14 of your finest tracks, in fact. Next from BGP is, well, a similarly wonderful This Is Street Funk 14-track compilation focusing on heavy 70s funk cuts. All US based, you're looking at the Fatback Band, Tribe, the Fame Gang, Millie Jackson, and Eddie Giles, amongst a host of thousands. Well, there's 14 in total, so maybe not thousands. But there is a distinct late period James Brown vibe influence going on here with many of these tracks, I would say. Next, from the UK outfit Demon, is a wonderful 70s based compilation called Guilty Pleasures. Curated by Sean Rowley, this double album features tracks that, well, I have to say, are often cruelly ignored and or dismissed, especially by those music snobs out there, as possibly cheesy, possibly mawkish, possibly shallow and trivial. But I would disagree with all of that, because I love them all. I love them because they beautifully represent the 70s as a decade, a time, a place, and a way of thinking. So, examples, well, if you are of a certain age, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. So we have the Alessi brothers with Oh Laurie. We have Andrew Gold's Never Let Us Slip Away, Andy Fairweather-Lowe's Wide-Eyed and Legless, Peter Skellen's Hold On to Love, Lindsay DePaul's Sugar Me, Starland Vocal Band's Afternoon Delight. Take that particular song. That was a massive hit when it broke. Emmys all over the place. TV shows span off that one particular song. But now it's basically forgotten. It has to be, as far as I'm aware, the only hit single inspired by a restaurant menu. So I have to compliment Mr. Sean Rowley on this one. This is a killer lineup. 3 new releases from Werf, W-E-R-F, Werf Records now. First up is Zee Skirts and Only the Bad Sleep Well. That was a Kurosawa film, wasn't it? Anyway, this LP features a pull-out lyric sheet and music that is tinged with history. There's a sort of Beach Boys aesthetic here in terms of the vocal delivery, and even a sort of 60s-esque lounge space pop feel thing in the arrangements with obvious modern adornments. But even so, it's kind of frivolous, fun. I like it. Next, released as a double album, contained in a gatefold sleeve and pressed on light blue marbled vinyl, comes, oh, I'm going to get this one wrong, Nabou Claerhout? I think it could be that, Claerhout. Forgive me if I've got that wrong. Probably have. Anyway, the good lady has a trombone ensemble, a rather nice funky jazz outfit, a quartet, I think, and it's really nice to hear a trombone ensemble at all, actually. Don't hear that sort of thing very often. Much ignored and maligned. Now, slight tangent, half the joy of watching Star Trek: The Next Generation was to see Commander Riker play the occasional trombone. So, I'm a bit of a sucker for a trombone. Now, even though this particular album is weighted down in a nice way with the trombone core, the album itself remains nimble and very imaginative. Finally, from Worth, and pressed on baby pink vinyl is, I think they're from Belgium, a trio called SEEYA. The album is called Playing for Oscar, which manages to add instrumental complexity while retaining a light, sparse overall feel. Generally, it's instrumental, although there are restrained vocals scattered hither and thither. It's a little bit of a tortoise-like approach to the music, maybe slightly lighter in tone and approach to Tortoise. Even so, it's oddly appealing, melodic yet complex, and again, I like it. Next is the rich tenor sax tones of Lucien Johnson and Ancient Relics, that's the name of the album, on Deluge, that's your record label. Although the tempo does vary to some extent, this is a generally slow-paced, laid-back outing that features, notably, the Kiwi harpist Natalia Mann, who adds a lush texture to the LP as a whole. Finally, classic rock via Universal Music and the 50th anniversary release of Deep Purple's Machine Head, remixed by, of all people, Dweezil Zappa, and pressed onto smoky, I should say, smoky purple vinyl. Of course. Now, this is a bit of a mixed media thing, and this is where a few CDs squeeze into this particular video. You do get the vinyl album, but you do get some CDs and also a Blu-ray. On the first CD, you will find that remaster, but also a 2024 remix. 2 additional CDs feature live performances. You get a 9th of March 1972 recording from the Paris Theatre, London, while the band were on the Machine Head tour, plus a previously unreleased, rather earlier, April 1971 audience recording at the Montreux Casino in Switzerland. Now, this casino would eventually burn down, and it would become the inspiration for the classic Deep Purple song, Smoke on the Water. The included Blu-ray disc also features the album with an Atmos remix, plus a 1974 quad mix and 5.1 mixes. Lots of goodies. The whole thing is presented in a hardback cover, along with a rather nice 60-page book, featuring lots of new text, rare images, and in addition to all of that, a lyric poster. So here, well, there is something for everyone. And that's it, folks. Thanks for staying to the end of this particular video. Can I ask you, further down, if you can click on the like and subscribe buttons, just helps this channel to grow. And also, there are links down there to my Facebook group, which you're welcome to join, and my website. There's lots of other goodies over there that you won't see here. And what else have we got? We've also got my Patreon page, and there's an exclusive video over there right now. Comes out every single week. You can only find it over there, called Hi-Fi News, etc. And you get hi-fi news, of course. You get music trivia. You get hints and tips, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'll be back next Friday with another one of these. If you fancy looking at some hi-fi stuff, you can see a video normally on a Sunday, and that's happening this Sunday. Anyway, I hope to have your company next time around, whichever video you care to watch, and I hope to have your company on one of those. Until then, folks, bye-bye for now.